Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and the Stellar Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook X. Hopefully this morning you are watching from your phone, from your iPad, from your device at home, maybe your desktop, maybe you're watching on your TV, wherever you are. We hope that you are having a great morning of hockey. Today is February 19th, 2024. Nice day today in Orlando. A little wet the last couple of days. Tommy, we had a dry day today? No. A little wet today too. Should be fun. Today's show, last night's article, is not fun. The problem with the MetroJets 37 win over Columbus. Before getting into this, let me say this. I have some dialogue going back and forth with United States Premier Hockey League Commissioner Bob Turrell. Bob Turrell, instead of replying with anything constructive, he went on the aggressive again with me. He does that. He's a bit of a bully at times, at least towards me. So I'm going to take this day as an attempt to continue with doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to let Bob or his lawyers, anybody else, stop me from saying what I'm going to say. Every league at the junior level of play has its share of blowouts, lopsided games, and finds himself in a bit of a non-competitive atmosphere. But Friday night's United States Premier Hockey League game between the Columbus Mavericks visiting the Detroit area MetroJets has opened up an enormous number of questions regarding the integrity of the game. When a junior hockey story hits mainstream media in California, of all places, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, and these calls start coming in to me from people that know my involvement in the game but aren't even involved in the game, asking me questions about this game. I have to wince a little bit. The MetroJets 37 win over the Mavericks will likely go down in history as one of the most embarrassing occurrences in USHL history. No, I'm going to change that. Probably one of the most embarrassing game results in junior hockey history. There was a game a number of years ago. It was the Utah Outliers against the Vail, whatever they were called that year, the Powder Chicks or Hounds or whatever they were. They weren't even part of the USPHL back then. It was actually part of the Western States Hockey League. And that game got to 30 goals. That was bad. That was really bad. And the owner of that Vail team was none other than the founder of the American Frontier Hockey League. I forgot his name. He's a Denver area attorney now. What is his name? I don't know. It's probably getting old. But Vail was a 1 year and done. I don't know if he even actually finished the entire year. It wasn't good that year. Well, that's the only other occurrence that I know of anything closely resembling what happened Friday in Detroit area. But in the end, that game may prove to be the costliest to the USPHL because that result instantly devalues the statistical performances of every player on every team across the entire spectrum of the league. Right off the bat. Any game played against Columbus is now questionable. So if you played for Toledo, you played for Nashville, every college coach that's looking at, or junior coach that's looking at the players from these teams that have taken advantage and blown out these lesser teams in that division the way that, well, no one's blowing them up like the Metro Jets, but the way that Nashville and Metro Jets and possibly Toledo have done this year, every one of those statistics are going to come into question. Here's a quote from a very highly regarded college coach at the NCAA level. Asked me not to use his name today. Bob Turtle took exception to that. I must look at the player individually. When we see unusually inflated numbers, I must go back and watch tape. That coach said on Sunday. If the bulk of those points came from teams at the bottom of the standings, and the player is unable to have the same success with teams that are better, I have to question the overall ability of that individual prospect. Bob Turtle thinks that probably didn't exist. I made it up. That's what he said yesterday. Poor coach. This is a statement from Metro Jets general manager and head coach Justin Quenneville about the game on Friday. It was brought to our attention that players on the opposing team were instructed to not try or compete because they have to conserve for another upcoming game that is more important to them in the standings. We take pride in scheduling the most difficult opponents and finding opportunities to teach in every game. We are not embarrassed. Quenneville says he is not embarrassed by today's events. And we spoke to our players and staff about everything afterwards. We take what we do seriously, and if other teams or players on their schedule don't, that's their choice. Our recent stretch of showcases and divisional games have been great matchups. This game, Columbus opted to protect their players, therefore I am protecting ours by letting everyone else know the truth, or letting everyone know the truth. Seeing their players not even making an attempt to play is wrong. Joke around is wrong, regardless of the motives. I challenge everyone, from the USPHL, from the 3HL, from the NA, anybody that wants to watch the game, to go to Flow Hockey and watch the second period. Watch the first period. Doing so, and you will immediately come to the same conclusion as I did. Quenneville is full of poop. A competing USPHL coach said it best. Not using his name because Bob Turtle will have the guy fired. That's what happens. Or attempt to. Or ask the coach or the owner, why is that guy working for you and talking to Heisler? What Bob doesn't know is many owners, coaches from the USPHL talk to me on a regular basis. We have players in the USPHL doing well. Here's what the other USPHL coach said. That 60-minute fiasco just undid years of work that the players, coaches, and operators have spent trying to bring credibility to the league. Just because someone has the money to buy a team does not mean they should get one without the proven ability to operate it. much less 2, the coach concluded. So how does the game move forward? It doesn't. This one has hurt everybody involved in junior hockey. Bob took exception to this part. As an advisory company, I cannot suggest that any client highly consider any team in that division of the USPHL unless the league takes corrective action to level the competition. I have a couple ideas. They'll be ignored, but they're ideas. A system of promotion and relegation between the elite and premier levels of the league should be considered. Teams from the premier that simply can't compete should be forced down to a level to the elite. Elite teams that show the inability to compete should simply be retracted. All new clubs should have to start from the elite level and rise to the top of the table before moving up to the premier. Maybe prove you can play competitive hockey before just being granted a team at that level of play. Maybe some of these moves can happen mid-season. Let's face it, any team that wants to beat their own drum enough to win 15-1 should have to move up to the next level for the remainder of the season. You're smoking somebody at the elite level of 15-0? Okay, you get to play in the premier second half of the year. Let's see how that works out for you. Win or lose by 20 or more goals? Maybe both teams take a break for the rest of the season. Quinnsville's "we are not embarrassed by today's events" was all I must know about him as a person. Justin, that's okay, because everybody else is embarrassed. That's it for today. Hope that you enjoy your morning coffee and have a great day in hockey.